My apologies for being tardy to the party. All right. So I had a call come in, and so I did the call, and now I will put that on for now. Okay. So I can see that the link kind of broke up in the comment for the YouTube, but that's all right. You would open another tab if you're on a PC or whatever, so that way you would be able to hear the music in the background. You don't have to do that right now. Pardon me. So the idea is to here's what I'm going to do. All right. And if you have an opportunity to open a tab, right, and start that another tab like in YouTube. Okay, let's say you're on your laptop or PC, all right, desktop, and then you start that music and you let that music flow in the background, and then you come back to our exchange, right? And what I've done with this piece of music is I've included it in my healing or guided energy meditations. All right. And in that, I've kind of entrained it to really do some beautiful energy. Okay. And I would like to teach you how to use frequency and energy and like become it or move into it to where you understand the flow of it, where you can feel as though you are the flow of it. Okay. And this is part of being able to align yourself with what you're asking for. All right. And you're discreating the belief that you don't have it yet. So you're working through all your limitations, any contrast that's there that tells you, no, I can't have it. All right. Okay. So in this, all right, one of the nice things is that you are becoming aware, all right, of who you are internally and allowing yourself to shift from what the old narrative was. Okay. So by that, I mean, we're receiving like an awful lot of information. Social media provides an awful lot. So does the news and any kind of music or uh, uh, programming that you watch on TV or cable or go to the movies for, or however you interact or what your interests are. That's where you're going to glean your interactions. Your interactions are going to help the flow of where it is that you would like to be or what is being drawn to you. All right. So we'll go ahead and we will have an experience, or we'll be in an experience, and we'll pull ourselves in a certain direction. And that's because we're focused and we are moving in that narrative. So we're looking for inspirational action, right? Inspired action. And we're looking for okay. Well, I'll find it. I'll find it and I'll update the link in the comments at the end of the stream. Okay. So just for right now, relax, relax. And what this is that through intention, my plan is to connect with the energetic field of oneness, all right, in the belief of universal law, right? And as I speak my intention, I'm connecting to the energy of what that um, feels like to me, what I sense in all of that, and what I think in all of that, in my knowing. What do I know about all of that? And as I open my energetic field or my aura, right, into curiosity, okay? Curiosity because I don't have all the answers, but I'm part of all that is, okay? So I'm sending energetic tendrils, if you will, out looking for what will bring me satisfaction. All right. And as I send these tendrils out, I don't realize that I'm creating gaps in my energetic experience that leaves me feeling lack. It's a cycle, it's a pattern. So you don't worry about it. You just, when you start feeling depleted, you start saying, oh, I've resolved this. Oh, this has been resolved. Oh, that's right. That's already happened. I'm good there. And you start to pull back your energy from the already occurred experience, and you honor yourself. You say, thank you, bless that. Thank you, bless that. Right? Because it's part of you. It's everything that we do, every experience that we have is part of us. So pulling your energy back from that, this intention of who you are energetically, whatever that means. Okay. You don't have to get real scientific about it. It's an intention, and you'll feel you return to you. Okay. And it's just a way to reset your experience or experiential field in your sense awareness, in your sensory awareness. So if you have trouble, if you are, I don't like to call it trouble, so I'm looking for different words, right? So if you have difficulty, challenges, whatever, if you feel that you're like an empath, all right, or empathic, and other people's emotions and states of being affect you directly, and you're very subjective, you feel subjective to that. A lot of times that's because you have a lot of unprocessed emotions, or you're going through a highly charged emotional experience, and it's very natural, all right, for that to occur. Very natural. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means that that's where the individual's at. All right. And all of us are there in some capacity. So really look at it that way. Okay. We're all there in some capacity. And that's the relatable aspect to the energy of oneness. Okay. Is that in every experience, there's a little bit of us. All right. And we're very reflective of one another, but the charges that we feel are going to be different than the charges that are felt, okay? Because we're having different perceptions. So in perceptive sense, right? What I like to do is I like to center into my physical body, like just bring my energy into my body to where I feel like I'm very present, right? And right now I feel like this right here is very open. Okay. It feels very open, like my mind is very open without a lot of thought. It feels very clear. All right. But it also has this sense of enthusiasm of it can't wait to show me what's coming next. Okay. And that's kind of the buffer aspect that I would like to create. And I want to push it out just a little bit further so that it isn't so pressurized, right? I want to expand my perception of my energetic field, and I want it to reach out just a little bit further because it feels tight to me. When I feel tight, I'm pulling a lot in. I'm becoming a magnet, but I'm also becoming very closed, and that's how I get covered. So, pardon me, the easier thing that I found if I'm very sensory is to begin to push, okay? Just push the energy away from my current experience and give myself a perception of room or space, right? And I can push it away until it's not so poignant in my field, or it hasn't neatly triggered a charge from a previous experience, right? That gives me a little bit of a buffer. And I do that quite a bit because I'm sensitive, and like I wasn't even aware of that, but I'm sensitive. The things we learn later in life, right? Anyway, so with this sensory awareness, it comes because we're doing that inner work. So it's clearing out space that was taken up by things that like memories, thoughts, toxic conversations, old traumas, the narratives, how they made us feel very limited. And so all of that right now, if we're doing that inner work, which a lot of us are really coming into an understanding and holding ourselves in love and with this sacredness that it's okay, no matter what happened, here we are now, right? And because we're being triggered by all of the worldly events as well. So we have like a lot going on around us, and we're reading multiple experiences. So we put our energy into those experiences to some degree. All right. But mostly we have a curiosity, and we'll rely on what we're told, because that's an easier way to digest information. So if we're handed a book, we'll do a book. And then if somebody says something else, the book said this, well, we'll revert to whatever our foundation is. So understand that your foundation still has other perceptions. There's more. There's always more than what you think you know. That's what I've learned. So even though I think and I have a great knowing, and I'm very connected to different patterns, and I'm able to see like different things, and it's a phenomenal experience for me, I don't know until I know. And I usually don't know until I'm prompted. All right. And it's the same for everyone. It's the same for everyone. I take mine into a different state. Okay. Okay, so now that we're here, right, that we're all kind of present, okay, I'd like for you to maybe pay attention to your breathing and just be aware of it. Don't change it, just be aware of it. Like, are you breathing in through your nose, your mouth? And are you exhaling? How are you exhaling? How long are you holding the breath? What's occurring to your body while you're breathing? Are you reaching your heart center? Can you let go of your solar plexus and your third eye, right? Your brow chakra. Allow your view, your psychic view or your psyche view, to broaden, to allow the limitations to break down or crumble down like a really nice cake. And in that energy where you are in imagination and pretend and make believe, this energy will work best because there are no have tos, musts, shoulds, woulds. All right. It's a very open place to be with yourself and understanding. And there's a lot of you that are still centered, all right, in your solar plexus because you're worried about how you're doing it. And until you can move your energy into your heart chakra, into the center, your heart center, right? To where you're in a balance and harmony of that, to where you can let go of you being in charge and making it happen and moving into a state of being, right? Okay. So what we'll do is I feel like there might be some clearings that we could do. All right. So if everyone would maybe focus on the center right here, the heart chakra. And I invite you to feel gratitude, gratitude. Breathe into that gratitude feeling. Let it deepen. And begin to think about things that bring you this feeling over and over again. Maybe it's your life, your lifestyle, your family, loved ones, kids, moms, dads. Maybe it's friends. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's where you live, what you have. Maybe it's what you feel. Maybe it's what you feel for who you are and being here. We're going to invite that fear that's nestled in the pit of the solar plexus. We're going to invite it to come forward. We're going to fill it with love. We're going to tell it we understand that we're afraid of taking wrong action. We're afraid of doing it in the wrong way. We want to get it right because we've taken so much time. We're just going to let go of that story. We're going to bless it. We're going to thank it for keeping us safe for such a long time. Being you requires no action. Really come into who you are. There you go. And in those breaths that you've been watching and noticing, I'd like for you to include how the oxygen begins to nourish the muscles and the organs in your body. And as you maybe deepen this breath, you draw it into your toes and it begins to clear and swirl any debris. And as you breathe out, 70 to 80% of all those toxins leave. Your body says thank you. And I'd like you to become aware of your back. And I'd like for you to bless your back because it can carry a lot. And in the blessing of your back, we're going to remove the burdens, at least for today. You can pick them up whenever you want, but we're going to release them, all right, and set them aside. Energetically, you might feel open. Maybe rotate your shoulders around, or rotate your wrists and hands. A movement of freedom. Again, connecting body to experience and energy. Allow you to come to you again. Now we're going to do a clearing that I like to do. It's rather swell. We will sit in the energy of us because I can tell that we have things with us, all right? And in the background is the music. And if you can't play the music during this and you're able to later, then go back and you can do it, okay? All right, so for me, I'll hear the harmonics, and the harmonics will come alive within the energetic mapping system of the body. And it's as if we're one, and the system begins to come online, and my energy begins to move to that new frequency. And in that new frequency, there are nuances of letting go of the focus I was in and redirecting and moving into the flow of what I'm asking for. And how I seem to do it is that I get very relaxed into the frequency, into the energy of what is. And it's almost as if I sit back into it. I call it becoming the energy, the frequency, the light. And right now we can sense resistance in our field, right? Resistance. And that resistance is not reluctance. It is different vibrations moving and assessing and determining if they wish to move to this new vibrational offering. And so you'll feel resistance and you'll feel hesitation and trepidation. Sometimes we'll jump to thinking it's fear, but it isn't. We're all adjusting our frequency to move into that offering if it feels pleasant and it allows us to be more authentic with ourselves. If it feels like acceptance, right? We can surrender to ourselves. It'll feel safe. It'll feel nurturing. It'll feel private, right? Because it's you. And you may notice that because you're allowing yourself ease into a vibrational offering, that it might feel like energy. It might feel like things slowing down or moving all in a specific flow state. And that is all accurate. Those interpretations are perfect. And mostly what it is our shared oneness, consciousness, awareness of one another positions now. We understand that we're having individual experiences, all right? And we also understand that in this oneness, in this surrender and acceptance, that we're enough, in that agreement, because that's how the energy is presented, right? All those little stories are falling away right now. Happy Mother's Day. All right. We challenge ourselves on a regular basis with our beliefs, and we're meant to understand the negative aspects of why we believe something and the positive aspects of why we believe something. That's what gives us our experience. That's the nature of the universal laws. And oneness is it's the cycle. It puts us into wholeness where I'm part of you and you're part of me. And in that, when we hold beautiful space for one another, when we think in loving terms, and it's easy to do that in small doses, right? But when you do it and you reset your body in such a way to where you've connected to your heart brain and those neurons and that synapse and all that movement, and then you've connected to your cranial brain and you've done the same thing, and they both come online at once, and you feel very singular, right? Very present. All 30 plus trillion cells inside of your physical self come online. They all just show up. And that's why you feel so present. That's why connecting an emotion to a thought is so powerful. It brings you into a present, current now, and it allows you to enjoy choice. Choice is made by you for you. And the only reason you don't have it is because of the language you use for you. All right, so now we're in this energy like this, and it starts to get a little crunchy, right? And I'll explain why. Because we're moving right along, the flow is very beautiful, and then I inserted distortion. And I challenged in that moment whatever your beliefs are about what I said. And that throws you back into who you are in the moment. It lets you clear the energy of what the story is. It doesn't allow you to just be who you are. Okay? And you move into this acceptance and understanding. It's very compassionate. Like the process is very compassionate. And then you're able to understand that you're just in illumination of a previous experience. And the charge can lessen. And we're learning how not to transfer our charges to others, right? We don't want to, if we're feeling that bad and we don't want anybody else to feel like that, then we need to not hand it to them. We need to don't do that. Okay? Maybe write something out about what you're going through and burn it. I love to go to the park and burn large amounts of writing because that gives me ease. And it's not all current writing. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm not over this writing. And I developed different language around that. Part of that language is understanding that I'm everything I've ever experienced, past, present, and future. And that I have all the capabilities that I have experienced by the hand of others, as well as me to others. There are many things and facets about what I have come to understand as my makeup, right? And we'll find language that will support us so we feel acceptable, so that we can do that healing, that word healing, right? So that we can do that incorporation and acceptance and surrender to love who we are, right? Okay. So now we're in this beautiful energy of understanding, right? There's been many different buzzwords that I've introduced. And in those introductions, the things that I see that are amazing are how the different individuals pick up bits and pieces of the conversation and how they wish to perceive it. And that is the lovely part about life. I love perception. Life is perception. It is the grace that you give to yourselves through the lens that others have given you. All right? That's wild, huh? I think a lot. I think a lot. I have a lot of conversations with universal wisdom because we can connect anywhere we'd like. So why not? Why not? Go into a deep meditation and allow your intention to guide you to where you would like to be. And look for the loving, unconditionality, most authentic aspect of you in it. And that's where you will find your resonant library of you. and you'll find out the things that you need to do for you. We're creating ourselves moment to moment, and we'll look at ourselves through a lens that's given to maybe another individual or given from another individual. And sometimes the individual maybe hasn't allowed the whole lens, right, to be, I don't know, cleared, right? And they're unable to hold that space that you think that they should be able to, because they too have their own experience in that healing aspect that they are having, that they're going through. And what happens is that we can understand that we are as they are, right? We are as they are, and that's why we're in the same vibrational experience. And so if we can release in that moment, I want it to stay there. If we can release in that moment our preconceived ideas, we can add perception to what's taking place. So some of the things that you can practice for that are when you find yourself in a limiting thought, a limiting narrative. Okay, I'll never make it work on time. It's never going to work out. I'm just like, this always happens, and blah, blah, blah. And now you have a story, and that's what you live, because that's what continues to perpetuate itself, because you said so. Okay. And now you wish to unwind that story. All right. First, you'll have to break all the habits as to why you put the limitation there in the first place, because there was a reason. So you need to honor yourself. You need to find out why. Why did I start being late at work? Why did I start having this sort of interaction? And usually we go into avoidance in some aspect because we're trying to hold that space here and find out what's going on here. And when we're not prepared or savvy enough to understand that's what's going on, we let it all hit us at the same time. So give yourself grace, give yourself a breath, because you're feeling and you're thinking a lot of things all at once. So do a lot of breathing, right? All right. Thank you guys for being here. And I wish you all a happy Mother's Day. And I hope that this was helpful. I hope it was helpful. Remember, here's the gist of it, because I like to reiterate, because I like to hear myself talk, apparently. I feel into the vibrational offering of the music. I let the frequency, the melody, the harmony wash through like my skin. I let my skin be the transmitter, right? That brings in this frequency, and I let that vibration begin to move throughout my whole body. All right. And I just keep thinking how beautiful that vibration is. And then I begin to expand that vibration. This is an intention. I begin to expand that vibrational offering as a match into my aura. And then into my aura, I begin to clear the psychic debris and the toxic thoughts and stuff, right? And transmute them into little white butterflies of unconditional love. And then I start to share this vibe with unconditional love and acceptance, because that's how it came to me. It accepted me no matter what. It didn't judge me. It just loved me right then. And now I want to share this vibe with the world, and I want to keep expanding it and sharing it and feeding it full of gratitude and appreciation, because I can feel that expansion. I can feel that expansion in consciousness, and I can feel how I'm a part of it, how I'm allowing myself to be a part of it energetically. Then I can bring myself back into my current physical experience, and I've reset how I'm going to show up next. So that's how I do easy meditations. It doesn't take very long. It takes like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And you can go into a state of being and bring that back with who you are. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed.